Hello everybody, and welcome to video number 16. For years now, lots of my friends have had a throwaway line. It was kind of a joke. They've called me the house whisperer. And the reason for that is they said, if there is a space that can be used for something, you find a way. Well, I want to show you what that looks like, so come on in. When we were designing the house and got to digging it out, I kept looking at the area behind the garage retaining walls going, gee, there's a lot of area here. Anyway, despite everybody's, kind of caution, I went, no, come on, let's see if we can't use this space. Anyway, a couple of trailer loads later of dirt, some hard work with steel beams and a stack of sleepers, recycled pavers from out the back, and what was going to be dead space is now turned into the best storeroom I've ever had. How was this possible? Quite simple. When we were designing how to hold the house up, we had to put two great big concrete pylons in. They go down about 3.5 to 4 meters into the ground. They did their job. Now the house is held up predominantly by the Dincel walls, but these just also happen to hold all the dirt back, which meant we could excavate all this area out without undermining any stumps, anything else. In fact, all we did was take pressure off the wall. So what a great way to get storeroom into your house, use up space that otherwise would have been dead, and the whole thing's cost me about $1,000. One of the really challenging but fun parts of a project when you get to this point is this decision time. What vanities are we using? What architraves? What cabinets are going in the kitchen? What tapware are we going to use? What light fittings are we going to use? All those things. And it becomes a crazy time where you got to find a lot of things in a hurry. If you're not organised, that can end up costing you an awful lot of money. So one of the things that we've tried to do on these projects is tap into two things. First, you could call it circular economy. If we don't want it and we've ripped it out, someone else is going to want it. But also, who's done a renovation somewhere around Melbourne or is beginning to tear down a house who has relatively new stuff in them that they either don't want, don't like, or for some reason have just decided, we want brand new. And that is an issue in this world. Everyone wants brand new. Whereas I've learned there can be a lot of value in recycling things that have a history or finding things that are virtually brand new and making them look like they are brand new. So let's show you some of the bargains that we're going to incorporate in the new house. Firstly, this is something that Jason and I picked up when we were out cycling. It's a 1920s, maybe 1930s piece of furniture out of a house. Someone spent time having it restored. It's got a bit of patina where someone somehow managed to burn it. It was sitting on a nature strip. Whereas if I build that into a wall, firstly, it will cost a fortune if I wanted to get it made, but you can't get that age look with something new. Other things, a $250 vanity, it's going to hang in the powder room, but the person who was selling it only wanted $30 for it. It's a $250 piece of tapware, $30. $10 each for inline fans. You never see them. They're going to be in the ceiling. Hanging shower rows, $150. I paid $20 because someone was tearing down the house. Like the doors. The doors were going to cost us about $550 each because they're 2.4 meters high. But someone else, unfortunately, had just finished a home that then had a fire. So because of insurance, they had to get rid of everything and the doors weren't damaged. So we bought all their doors. What was going to cost us $4,000 cost me $400. Hydronic heating was going to cost $8,000 for the parts. But someone had bought a house and didn't like hydronics, so they sold the boiler and all of the wall pieces for $1,000 in total. Someone else in another suburb had put new windows into the home, so the hydronic panels that they'd had on the walls didn't fit anymore. So I managed to pick up a $1,200 hydronic panel, an extra large one, for $80 on Marketplace. There are a lot of things that can be found for a job that don't have to be brand new, will do the job, will still last 40 or 50 years, and you can spend a fraction of the price. I managed to find someone who was tearing down a very expensive house in a suburb of Melbourne. They're putting up a $3 million home, that's how much money these people had, and they didn't want anything from the old house. So the 3-year-old kitchen was up for grabs. Solid timber bench tops that are going to be recycled as desks and shelving. This piece is 3 meters long, it's Jarrah, and it's a metre wide. Would have cost me thousands to get these made. The cupboards are all Bloom internally. They're top of the line fittings. I like the handles, it's the shape look I was after. I've got so many cabinets. It didn't take a lot of work to work out how we'd make all to go together. Because I've saved money on all of these parts, I can make the whole thing tie together by adding any missing components in a matching profile, but with a contrasting colour, and then spending money on the bench top so that I get exactly the look that I want. The look, $50,000, $60,000 worth of kitchen, but it's cost me about a third of that. There's so many ways you can get a glamour look without having to spend glamour dollars. Also started prepping for the rear deck. That meant we had to get 200 mil of clearance under the deck's subfloor. So the team got to work on carting another 100 plus wheelbarrows of dirt down the steps and out into the skip. Based on the success of the front fence and all the feedback from the neighbours, Jason and I set about cutting up more used recycled timber, and now we're doing the gates and a bit more fencing. Meanwhile, the building team set about constructing the walls on the top story. The walls in place, it was now time to order the trusses. As with many things on this block, it was a real team effort to get all those trusses from where they were delivered out the front, up the block, up 3 stories and into place. And the team set about constructing the roof. It's again an astonishing feeling to stand on a completed floor and look at the dream coming to fruition. 2 things strike me. It's an awfully long way down from up here, but when you then scan back out to the view, a lot of work, but it's worth it.